Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing, but there is a thing called the Google Sandbox. Now, this might be a mythical unicorn floating out in the world, but honestly, it's definitely real. I don't care what any marketer says, and if you've never heard of the Google Sandbox, I'm going to tell you what it is. So as soon as you fire up a new website, it takes a little while for Google to see it. Now, when I say it takes a little while for Google to see it, you have to go into Google Search Console, which I'm about to show you, and you actually have to submit your website. You have to say that you own the domain, and Google goes, "Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to let people know about who you are, and we're going to start indexing you," meaning they're going to start showing you in the search engine results pages, right? SERPs. That is super important because a lot of people don't go in and actually submit their website to Google Search Console, and their website's out there floating in limbo. Now, will Google find it? The answer is yes, it will absolutely find it. But you need to, it just helps to go tell Google about your website so that way it can start indexing it. Now, what happens is right when you fire up a new website, there is the magical area called the Google Sandbox. And I'm a firm believer in it. And some people say, no, it's not real, but I have some data in here that I definitely want to show you guys that might prove otherwise. Now, at the end of this, I want you guys to go in and decide for yourself on whether or not it's real. I'm pretty certain it's real, but I think that once you look at the data, you can make that assumption for yourself. Now, what it is and what it's designed to do is prevent scammers and people that are looking to essentially screw over other people from getting to the top of Google. Now, why does Google do this? Google built this in because they figure scammers aren't going to put in the work required to get to the top of Google. Google wants to provide valuable resources, right, when you go and type in a query online. The reason why they do this is because they want to provide the best customer experience to you as the consumer so you continuously come back. That is why Google has a massive market share in the United States and around the rest of the world, right? It's a $1 trillion company, I think, at this point. And they do this because they know that scammers aren't going to put in the time, energy, and effort. And because of this, and this is a more recent implementation, you used to be able to do what's called keyword stuffing. You just put as many keywords on your website as possible, and ultimately Google goes, "Oh, thanks so much for all those keywords. We'll just fire it up right here." Those days are long dead and gone. But now when you fire up a new website, it takes a while to get traffic. Now, it takes between 3 and 9 months to actually build your traffic. And the reason why is because Google wants to make sure you're legit and you're going to share some really good information. So if you built a brand new website and you're really curious to know why you're not getting any traffic for the next 3 to 9 months, this is probably why. So I've pulled up 5 different websites that we have built, we have maintained, and we've gotten several of our clients to the million click mark per year, and over that, some of them, at the hundreds of thousands of clicks per month area. So it's not something new to us. We've been doing this for a while now, and I like to think that we are pretty good at it. So I've just pulled up a couple different things and some sample data here, and let's jump into my computer. So right off the bat, you're going to see we launched this website. This is just a little project website for us back on 6/6. So June 6th, and you'll see, right, there's this massive time period with literally no growth. And it's kind of infuriating because you're sitting there and you're like, well, why is this not growing? Why is this not moving the way I want it to move? And after a while, you start to get a little bit of trickle of data in here and a little bit of search, and then all of a sudden there's a day when you never see zero. So when I say never see zero, meaning Google actually just shows out your website every single day because they know that you have good information. So that day, it looks like, was probably on September 18th. So do the math, right? You have June, July, August, September. It took 4 months to get out of the Google Sandbox till Google said, hey, we're going to start showing your stuff every single day to people, right? Because we have a bunch of content on this. Now, in this particular case, we have about 50 or 60 blogs altogether now. But when we first launched, I think we had about 4 or 5 different blogs. We did a bunch of work on it and stuff like that, and it's more of a project website to do testing and things like that. And these are so far the results. Now, after September 18th, it's been steadily growing at a rate that I'm happy with. It isn't the best in the world. And then all of a sudden, come February, it took off and it's just headed in the right direction. Now, my clicks definitely could improve, and I have a lot of SEO to come back to this. But like I said, this is more of a fun project between me and a couple of friends. It's something I definitely don't take seriously. But this just goes to show you, like, hey, there is definitely a time period of 4 months before Google actually really started to show us out. Now, if you look at the clicks also follow this. Now, these could definitely be a bit higher, and that we need to go back and modify them. But if you look at the clicks, right, we're getting 1 click here and 1 click here and 1 click here, right, and 2 clicks. Right, September 12th, we got 1 click, and then after that, the clicks started rolling in. Now, like I said, this could be significantly better, but the cool part is just 4 hours ago, and this is on, we're recording this on March 8th, so yesterday we got 5 clicks, which is the highest we've gotten to date. We have a 2.9% click-through rate, we have total impressions and all that kind of stuff, but this is all about bourbon and cigars, bottled and ash, right? Pretty self-explanatory. And that is just one example. Now, the next example is a good friend of mine. We built him a website right in the beginning of COVID. We were kind of slow. I said, look, I'm happy to build you a website and things like that. And the crazy part is, and this is how long the Google Sandbox took, right? It was slow. I mean, we're getting couple impressions here and there, right? 8, 10, 15, 11, 10, right? Some days we stopped hitting 0 pretty early on, and he already had an existing website, which is pretty interesting, but it really was not done. It wasn't built correctly. There was no SEO done on it. There was nothing. And it's just sitting. And all of a sudden, after a little while, come this year, it's just taking off to new heights, which is incredible, right? And his clicks seem to be following that, which is great. Absolutely phenomenal. But it took a very long time. Now, is this Google Sandbox? I don't quite know. I'm not 100% sure how to read this, whether it is or it isn't. But you're talking about almost, once again, 9 months of waiting. If you look at the dates, you're talking about April. We're in March now, but it really didn't start to take off until right in the end of January. So you're really talking about that 9-month mark before Google decided to send it any traffic. Now, he had content up the whole time, and we really started putting some content in towards the end of August, but it still took that long. And he has a decent amount of pages on his website. Once again, we have Lawn Brothers Landscaping, another company out on Long Island that has been growing and building a website. Once again, we started building it, and we added just a little bit of content to it. Nothing too crazy. He wasn't ready to step into SEO. He just wanted a website where he can present what he did to people, and it sat. So you're looking at, April 3rd, right? Almost till September 18th is really when we started to get some kind of traffic. It took almost, 5 months to get this traffic. For what reasons? I don't know. We did nothing different. But after the middle of September, it started to take off, and we started to get some more and more impressions. And those clicks are matching those impressions, right? If you look at the clicks, they all come towards the later part. We really didn't get many clicks. It was totally dead. And I presume this website will continuously grow and grow and grow over time. Now, that's 3 examples. I have 2 more for you, and these are regularly what we see when we build new websites. These are just kind of the better examples of it, where we didn't take over a pre-existing website and things like that. These are totally from scratch, where we actually have the data and somebody didn't, remove us from their search console. Once again, so we're sitting here. We fired this one up on May 12th, and if you look, you're talking about 5 months into the year, and now if you look, it was January 23rd, right, was the last day of 0 impressions. So that's 7 months of waiting, of not getting traction on the website. And this is the new brand that we're launching. So we have a long way to go, and we have a ton of stuff. I'm pretty excited about it. And this is just going to grow and grow and grow into a monstrous website. I'm beyond excited for it because it's our own stuff. We're working on it regularly. We're all putting content, myself and my employees, we're all putting content into it regularly. And it just took that long to get off the ground. And then the last one is a buddy's website of mine. I wasn't going to show this one, but even still, this is a website coming from Constant Contact over to Wix, and we just use Wix. It happens to work really, really well for us. And honestly, we're getting traffic to tons of websites with Wix on it. If anyone says they can't do SEO on Wix, they don't know how to do SEO because it's not that hard. And the crazy part is like he's had a website for over a year and he's still not getting that many impressions. Now, yes, it is 2,000 impressions, but right when we cut him over, it was pretty slow. It's only just starting to pick up, and a lot of his content is going to start to hit. So these are all different things to take into consideration, and quite honestly, it's up to you to figure out whether or not the sandbox is there. But in our research and what we've seen when we build websites, and like I said, these are just the better examples of like, hey, you know, we didn't pump it up with 50 or 100 articles right at launch or whatever it is. These are natural, what you would probably build at home, right? If you're looking to do some content marketing, hey, started a website, fired it up, and now I'm going through and building this website and adding a piece of content once a week and growing it that way. Your website is going to sit dormant for anywhere between 3 to 9 months, at least in the cases we've seen. Some of those were built on Wix. Some of those were built on WordPress. You know, one of them was built on Webflow. I mean, the results seem to be the same on all platforms. So the platform doesn't particularly matter as far as the unicorn, that sandbox type area that you're going to be in. But whatever that is, like, it's there. It's definitely real in my opinion. Now, other people may have had different experiences with it. There may be somebody out there that just knows all the secrets, but I'm in several mastermind groups with a lot of really, really high-end and well-respected digital marketers, and we all see the same thing time and time again. So it's up to you. You tell me what you think the data shows. I'd love to hear what your feedback is. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how many months you've been in the sandbox. If you've built a good website, you've made sure that all the SEO is good, and you've put it through Ubersuggest or SEMrush or whatever platform you use, and everything seems to come back good, but it's just sitting there in limbo, right? Let me know how many months you were sitting in limbo. I'd be very curious to see, based on the people that watch this, on really how long it took. I'm very curious to see what the results are, because I've seen some people get out in 2 months, and I've seen some people wait literally almost a year, right? We've seen one that took 10 months. So let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment down below. If you guys found value in this, or you know somebody that might enjoy this, hit the like button, share it out with them. You know, this is definitely a thing. Don't get discouraged if you've been grinding for 3, 6, 9 months and you're not getting any traffic. It will come eventually, right? That one website, it just launched, right? Several of them are really about to take off. So keep at it. Keep going. It will get easier. It will happen. I hope this video helps. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell so you never miss another video of these. I said because I pretend like I'm ringing the bell, but I haven't rang a bell in years. And anything that you saw in this video, all links are in the description down below. I hope this video helps. My name is Harris Brown, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and I'll see you guys later. Till then, bye.